everyone. How are you doing? Welcome to Facts and Two Cents. This is Petal. I hope you all are doing well. I know we've had some challenges in our midst, but I just want to say before I get to that, hello, hello, hello. I haven't done a live in quite a while. I've been doing the premieres where I am in the chat with you, which I absolutely love. Absolutely love, like just watching it back and just being in the chat with you, just hanging out. But I was like, well, I have hour and something today. I can jump on and do a live and just catch up with you guys, see how you are, how life is treating you. But before we go, as you know, we are a channel that's supposed to Duke and Duchess of Sussex, Harry, Meghan, Archie, Baby Lily, Mama Doria, Poola Guy, the chickens, Mama Mia, all of us here at Sussex Squad. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I see a lot of my friends in the chat. But before we even get to the chat, I want to just say a huge shout out to Church Nelly. I know she's having some health challenges, and I am praying for you, and I am praying that you get better soon and come back to us quickly. So huge shout out there. I know we're all praying for you. So Church Nelly, if you are watching this, I just want to send you love and hugs and all of those things, and just so you know that I am praying hard for you and that you will get better soon. So I'm going to jump in the chat and say hello to my friends who are here, and 90 of our favorite people hanging out with us. Some of them are not in the chat, but hello everyone. Hi, Ann Fu from Trinidad and Tobago, my home peeps. How are you, my love? Gwendolyn is here, and Dolores and Joan. Hello, guys. Kenitha and Sunny and our awesome moderator Lydia. Hello, Lydia. How are you? I am so happy you're here. Thank you, Lydia, is reminding everyone who are coming into the chat. If you are new here, especially, or if you've been here for a while and you just haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe right on the bottom of this video, and click the notification bell so you know when we drop a video. Please join. You can also join the channel. So if you're able, and please like and share this video as we slowly build. We're trying to get to 10,000 by the end of, hopefully by the end of the year. Yeah, I think that's a good goal. So help us build this channel. So thank you so much, Lydia, for reminding everyone. Appreciate it. Our awesome moderator. Connie Bomber is here. Hello, Connie. How are you? Hanging out with us from Switzerland. Wait. Cookies, prayers for Cookies and Cream's father and family. Oh my goodness. What happened to Cookies and Cream's father and family? So I am just seeing this now. So thank you, Lydia, for sharing this with us. But we will pray for Cookies and Cream. If you guys want to elaborate in the chat, let me know what's up. And if not, no pressure. But I will definitely be praying for Cookies and Cream's family and father. Cookies and Cream is one of our awesome moderators. And so thank you so much, Lydia, for sharing that with you. Cookies and Cream, you're definitely in my prayers. You will be at the end of this. I will be praying for you. Definitely. Who else is here with us? Kadisha. Hey, Kadisha. How are you? Kadisha is here. Karen M is here. Our awesome moderator, Karen M. Hello, Karen M. Let's see, Janice and Alma and Mad World is here. Andrea Ellen is here. Oh, wait, Andrea Ellen is here. Our Two Cent Screws highly represented in here. Hello, all of our wonderful Two Cent Screw members. Nakathula. Hello, Nakathula. How are you? I hope I just said your name correctly. And Verbena and Wendy. Hello, guys. Perlina, hello. Let's see. And a couple more before we go. And we'll just say hello to everyone else as we go along. Hey, Alma. Alma's here. Oh, Alma, why did I get? Yeah, there we go. Alma's here. Kids Indoors here. Hello, guys. Elaine Parker is here. Man. Oh, Kenitha. Wait, did I say Kenitha before? If not, Kenitha. Oh, actually, I think I did. Yeah. But hi, guys. All of our faves are here. And I'm sure others will be coming in. We have jumped to 168. Hello, my favorite people. So what's going on in the world? Oh, my goodness. there's been so much stuff. I feel a little bit overwhelmed. I'm assuming if I feel this way, others may feel this way as well. There's so much happening on both sides of the pond, and it's like, oh my world. So what's going on? Well, it's so funny. Before we even get to all of that, thank you, Josephine. She's not a squatty, but she definitely supposed to Duke and Duchess of Sussex. So the top two pictures I saw on her Instagram, on her Twitter, and I was like, oh, I love these. I mean, we remember this is from Harry and Meghan in the basket at the Lakers game a few days ago. I don't think I've been on since the Lakers game. And so we remember these wonderful pictures from them. And then yesterday I saw the picture in the front and I was like, Harry, Meghan, get a room. What are you doing? I mean, look at the intensity of those two. I mean, it's just like, oh my goodness, Lord. Get a room, lock the door, and put a do not disturb sign. But our fans were having a great time at the basketball game. Again, I have no idea who won the game. It's so funny. I used to be so into basketball, and then I don't know why I fell out of favor with it or something. And I have not watched in a while, and I have not kept up with it. So I think it's the playoffs, and I'm assuming the Lakers won because they're all smiling. So if they lost, sorry, but it seemed they won. I never did go back and check the score. But I was just like, I love these pictures. And of course, they were there with their staff. And the top right picture, the guy next to Meghan is Meghan's lawyer. Actually, it's been her longtime lawyer since she was in Suits, I think. And so the staff was there, and it's so funny. It was like, oh, it's a staff get together, or someone said, oh, it's a team building event. Going to the Lakers game and all of that stuff, which is fantastic. I was like, hey, what a wonderful way to team build and, really be there with your staff. And I love the fact that they have their staff in front of them and they sit in the back. It's just like really honoring their staff, which is wonderful, and of course, we know that they messed up the kiss cam. I was like, guys, get together with that kiss cam. Next time you go to a game, figure it out. You got to kiss on the kiss cam. But no, it's just, kiss cam is silly. Many people have cringe moments on the kiss cam. But it's, I just love this. But it's funny because now from what was dropped yesterday, it was like, oh, that's why they were at the game all together. And of course, yesterday, just in case you were under a rock somewhere in Mars with a bag over your head and just didn't know what was happening in the US yesterday or last night or late yesterday when they dropped this, I'm sure you all know by now, Meghan signed a contract and she is now going to be represented by WME. And, it's so funny. One of my friends on Twitter DM'd me. He's like, what does that mean? Because if you're outside of the US and don't really pay attention to Hollywood or the entertainment industry on a whole, signing with WME means absolutely nothing to you. And I totally get that. It's just like people are like, what does that mean? Well, just, in the film, television world or entertainment world, and a lot of sports and stuff like that, publishing and stuff, WME is one of the biggest agents in Hollywood. I mean, they are the power agent of power agents in Hollywood. And so Rahm Emanuel, who is one of the owners of WME, he is one of the most powerful people in the entertainment industry. And so to have him, and I think she's also rep by two others as well, it's a huge deal. And it's huge in a sense of like you think of the British press is like, oh, Hollywood has rejected Meghan, and nobody cares about Meghan. Their popularity is that's their big thing of how popular they are, and they're just obsessed with Hollywood rejecting Meghan, especially not so much Harry, but rejecting Meghan and all of that stuff. So it has been a big blow to that narrative of Meghan being rejected by Hollywood to have the biggest agency desperate to sign her and finally landing her. And to hear, we'll get to the agency's comment in a second if you haven't seen that. And so, I mean, so shocking it has been since, I kid you not, by the time I came on here and I had checked earlier to see if I saw any reporting of this, the British press has been rendered mute. Completely mute. Other than, I think it was last night, someone posted a article from the Daily Mail. They're claiming that they contacted WME to confirm, and WME basically ignored them. Other than that, there has been nothing. People usually post little clips from, say, what is it? The British, the morning shows. And they usually post clips about it, usually when they're talking about Harry and Meghan. Zip, zero, zilch, nothing. They have been rendered mute. Because how do you respond to this when your whole narrative is about Meghan being a B-list actress that nobody wants, and her popularity is declining, and Hollywood has basically kicked her to the curb? That's been their narrative, and that's been the thing that they have been, writing about and laughing about and mocking Meghan and all of that stuff. And now it's almost like they have no idea what to do. Give them a few days. I'm sure they'll come up with a negative angle to this in some way, because that's what they do. But at this moment, they have been rendered mute. And it's just was very, I'm like, can we just literally continue be rendered mute? Just like completely. Just not hear from you at all in any sense of the word, But I just love this. I absolutely love this. And of course, if you don't know, if you're not in the US and pay attention to this stuff, Hollywood Reporter, Variety, and Deadline are three of the top entertainment news outlets in the US. And so they were all reporting it yesterday and, today. And it's been really great. And we know that Meghan has, a relationship, especially with Variety. Variety is the one that broke the news. And it seems like that is Meghan's go-to when she wants to break something like that. She will go to Variety. So they're the ones that had the exclusive. And then Deadline and Hollywood Reporter picked up on it. And so this is a little bit from Variety. Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, has signed for representation with WME. Variety can report exclusively. The signing represents a crown jewel for WME, one might say, as numerous agency rivals have tried to land the public figure formerly known as Meghan Markle since she and her husband moved to California in 2020. That again kicks the British press narrative to the curb, as they're like, numerous agencies were rivaling to try to land her. And WME has signed her. She is, as they say, the jewel in the crown for WME. Her team at WME will include Power Agent Endeavor CEO Ari Emanuel, Brad Slater, the rep and brand architect within the agency for Dwayne Johnson, and longtime Serena Williams agent, Jill Smaller. So they represent a lot of, actors, producer, whatever. And as you can see, Serena's agent is also there at WME. WME will assume representation of Archwell. Good backing. I'm so happy to hear this, because Sunshine Sachs was just not, I never thought that was a right fit. And so it's great to see that. So they're going to be also representing Archwell, her and Prince Harry's content creation label, film and television production brand, partnerships, and overall business building will be explored. Acting will not be an area of focus. So they're going to be doing, so I'm like, yes, people who know what they're doing is going to be taking over, really marketing and really pushing whatever production they do with Archwell. So that is awesome, because someone was asking about, well, what about Prince Harry? I'm like, well, Prince Harry, whatever they do with Archwell, WME is going to be representing that. Prince Harry's other work does not need representation. For example, his work with Invictus, his work with, with Travelers, his work with Veterup or Santibali or any of those organizations, they don't need an agent. Meghan's work, as she's going to be doing a lot of like brand, she might be teaming up with different companies, either to be the face of their brand or to partner with them in their brand and stuff like that. That more needs an agent, And if she, whatever production and stuff like that they do, they'll need an agent for that. But Prince Harry's work per se, like, his core work, doesn't need an agent. So, but whatever he does with Archwell will be represented by WME. And as we know, Meghan is more into the entertainment part of it. So, of course, you need, and one of the great things about it, again, Ari Emanuel is the CEO of WME. He's also the brother of what's his name, Rahm Emanuel. Rahm Emanuel used to be I think the right hand man for President Obama when he first got into office. Rahm Emanuel was also the mayor of Chicago. So this guy's connected like you would not believe, and he's one of the power agents. I mean, I'm telling you, the guy is one of the biggest figures in Hollywood. So whatever door Meghan wants to go into basically will be open to her, because that's how powerful this agency and her agents are. So it is a big deal, and so I'm glad that she's going to have the kind of representation that she deserves, and the backing that she deserves for what she wants to do. And because, I mean, she's so intelligent and she has so much to offer, and she has this humongous platform, and it'll be very exciting to see what they do together and how they do it, and how, I mean, one of the things with the British press, they have been terrified of Meghan dominating the world. Of course, Meghan was home sitting under a tree minding her business, and that was the thing that they have been obsessed about. Well, now they're seeing like, oh shoot, maybe I shouldn't have said that. Maybe I shouldn't have said Meghan is gonna take over the world, because now she actually can, and they have been rendered mute. So I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. And so this is WME. They tweeting about it yesterday. It says, we are honored to announce that WME now represents Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, in all areas. The agency will be focusing on building out her business ventures across multiple facets of the agency and its broader ecosystem, including film and television production, brand partnerships, and more. So to see WME tweeting this out, I was like, wow, this is a big deal. And so they're happy. We're happy. The trolls are going crazy. They don't know what to do with themselves, because, again, Meghan is all the things that they were saying about Meghan, that they thought that, if I say all this stuff about her on Twitter, it will diminish her. She will go away. Hollywood will reject her and kick her to the curb. And all of a sudden, the biggest agency, for that, they didn't realize what was happening behind the scenes, is that those big agencies in Hollywood were all fighting over her, and the biggest one landed her. And thank you, Sash, for reminding me. Rahm Emanuel was President Obama's chief of staff. Yes. And so, and again, it's just, and that's Ari Emanuel's brother. So and it's funny because one of those people on Twitter who does what Meghan wears, apparently Meghan's outfit that she was wearing to Andrea's saying Rahm Emanuel is a pit bull. Folks better leave Meghan alone. That's what I heard. It's like, you don't mess with Rahm Emanuel's clients. So people better start being careful what they say about Meghan. But thank you, Andrea. And so one of those people, and again, I'm not a fashion person, but one of those people on Twitter who, look at fashion, one of the things they were saying, apparently Ari Emanuel's wife is a fashion designer. And apparently she, the outfit Meghan wore at the game, this sort of peach suit, shorts, and jacket thing, was designed by Ari Emanuel's wife, who's a fashion designer. So what I think was happening here at the basketball game, it was a celebration. This signing must have been that day, or maybe the day before, whatever, because her lawyer is there and everything, and her whole staff is there. I don't know for 100%. But I have a feeling this might be, they were celebrating that signing. And so for her lawyer to be there, her wearing Ari Emanuel wife's design, her outfit. That might be what they were doing and celebrating it at the game. So yeah, it just it's all fantastic. I am so excited about this. I mean, I'm gonna jump in the chat for a second to see what you guys think. About it. And so let's just jump in the chat for a second to hear your voices. Andrea says, wow, her outfit sold out too, I think. Oh, it did? Okay, I hadn't paid attention. I happened to just see it today. Again, I don't really know fashion. So I would have never, I mean, for me, it was just a peach color suit. That beyond that, I didn't take it deeper. So yeah, it's really very, very exciting. Let's see. Dolores says, oh, she's talking to Lottie. They will be helping her make money. Or she's going to make. It's so funny because I'm telling you, our squaddies are so perceptive when they see things on Twitter. Tyler Perry tweeted something the other day, and I should have brought it in, probably the next episode. But Tyler Perry had tweeted something about, you go and get the most money or something, because that our ancestors work for, we owe that to them. And so a squaddie has said, when they saw Tyler Perry tweeted that something big is going to happen with Meghan and Harry, because apparently the last time he tweeted something, something big happened with them. And it was just like, oh, okay. So they were like, yeah, look out, something big is happening. And no, I mean, I'm telling you, only a squaddie would figure this out. So next time I'm going to come in and bring in what Tyler Perry had tweeted. But yeah, it was a few days ago that I remember that. It was just like, oh, wow, okay. So who knows? Maybe, I'm sure Tyler knew about it. Let's see. Let's see. Ruth Lopez says, oh, she's talking to Church Nelly. We always knew you had a big heart. Take care of yourself. We need you. Yes, we do. So better get well soon. What would Nacho do without you? Exactly. Nacho needs you. Nacho need you to be here loving him. So there you go. So hurry, get well soon and hurry back. Thank you, Noreen. You have not missed much at all. No, we just started, and I'm glad you're here with us. So there you go. Wait, did Church Nelly jump into the chat? Wait, why am I seeing? I'm seeing Church Nelly. I am scrolling to find Church Nelly is here. Wait, oh my goodness. Did PM head explode? Hi, Church Nelly. How are you? How are you feeling? I am so happy you're in the chat. Well, he's been rendered speechless so far. So maybe his head did explode. Who knows? So since you're in the chat, I'm gonna divert for a second. I'm gonna just hang on one second. Since you're there, Church Nelly, this is for you, and this was for your birthday, but I don't care. It's fine. I want to just play this for you because I know anything to make you happy. So let's just play this for Church Nelly. Just ignore the birthday part and just know that this is just for you today. This is coming to you from Nacho. Okay, I think our thing just stopped, but anyways, that was for you, Church Nelly. Just giving you a little bit of Nacho. Hopefully that made your day, that cheer you up in some way. A little bit of our dear Nacho, who we will miss playing polo, but maybe we'll see him. At least, Harry isn't playing in their tournament this year. So, anyways, hope you sending you lots of love via Nacho. Anyway, so moving on, let's see. Iloma says Rahm Emanuel was President Obama's first chief of staff and a two-time mayor of Chicago. That he was, he was, and that's Meghan's agent's brother. The Emmanuel brothers. Oh, thank you so much, Elaine Parker, for your super sticker. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. For your support always. Thank you. What else is happening? Yes. Meghan's power hair. I'm telling you. It's so funny. The British press, they go crazy over a hairstyle, and then Meghan did something amazing, like signing with her agent and all that stuff, and they've been rendered mute. So apparently Sarah Vine, the very nasty Sarah Vine, who is always attacking Meghan, I mean, jealousy is just her bones is just everything about her, this woman is jealousy. And so in one of her very crazy Daily Mail article, thank you whomever it is that posted the screenshot on Twitter. As she writes in an article, Meghan startling new look reveals who she really was all along. A highly ambitious woman who knows what she wants and is determined to get it. Writes Sarah Vine. And it's like this startling new look. Meanwhile, Meghan has had this look way back when, long before she met Harry. And including, there was Meghan in the third picture. I think this was probably an event in the UK or Australia. I think this one was on tour. And then, of course, we don't see Meghan with the same hairstyle when, this was when they had just moved to California, when they, from when they had stepped down. And I think this was at Tyler Perry's house, the first picture, when she was doing I think it was like a speech for her old school, their graduation. And so I'm like, or either that or a girl, some event she was doing online, I think, or that either that or one of those girls groups she was doing this for. But she had literally the same hairstyle. But to Sarah Vine, it's a startling new look, which reveals all along that she's highly ambitious. And there's that word using ambitious as a negative for a woman. And it's just like, Sarah, maybe if you get some ambition, maybe you wouldn't be so nasty. Maybe if you rethink what the word ambitious mean and how that's a positive for women and not a negative as you seem to think it is, but they use the ambitious as such a negative whenever it's, they use it with Meghan. And it's just like, no, ambitious is actually a good thing. And this is not a startling new hairstyle. But it's very funny to me. Absolutely funny. And then people, Meghan put on some more makeup that she usually does. You can't see her freckles, and whenever you don't see her freckles, is she's put on extra makeup. And to some people, especially the Rupert Murdoch tabloid, Meghan has a new face. And I'm like, it's kind of called makeup. You may have heard of it. You know what I mean? It is just so, again, ridiculousness. But we love Meghan no matter what her hairstyle is. No matter what she does with her hair, she's fabulous. So there. And oh my goodness, Spare, May 7th, and Spare's finally, it's been out of the number one for a couple of weeks, and now it's number 5. Obviously we know that Spare came on the market January 10th. This is May 7th, and it is still in the top 5 of the New York Times bestseller. This thing is like that little, what is that? That little toy that just wouldn't stop, the Energizer Bunny. It's like the Energizer Bunny on speed or something. It is just like the little, the little book that could. And so, I don't know what their expectations were, what Harry's expectations was for his book. But I'm telling you, for me, and I have a big imagination, it is completely gone so far beyond what I imagined this book would do. It's been unreal to watch it, and to see something exceed my imagination. I absolutely love it. So yeah. um and people are still getting excited about, with their little book clubs and everything. I mean, look at this book club, with wine and their cheese and stuff like that, and they're still doing book clubs with Spare. Freed Head Book Club spared some time during the season to read Prince Harry's memoir, and it's like people are still having their book clubs on Spare, and it's wonderful. It is so wonderful. And again, for me, it's the little book that could, so it's just, I mean, again, I don't know what I don't know what their expectations was, how large they thought it could be, but it's just like, it is so far exceeded mine, and it's wonderful to see. I just saw, what is this? Denise is saying Angela Levin lost her makeup in between her folds, and wrinkles, so many wrinkles. Oh my goodness, I don't even know what that means, but yes, Angela Levin does need to change that photo. I think she has this photo of her much younger. It's like, Angela, you do not look like that photo. You don't. Nola Thando, hello, Nola Thando. How are you? And all awesome South African squatties. Nola Thando says, Meghan's hairstyle is shouting, I am in control. Haters go to the nearest street. Oh no, we can't do that. Nola Thando, what are you doing? And what? No, we can't do that on this podcast. We can't. That's yeah, no. I'll get if I ever said that on this podcast, I will get taken down. But let's see. Nakathula says, Spare would go back to number one. Worse, when we win these cases, every negative individual would be buying a copy. I'm telling you, Harry has 3 cases and 3 decisions outstanding, all for the same thing, all for the phone hacking. It's the new Mail on Sunday, Daily Mail, News Corp. I'm sorry. The Daily Mail, Mail on Sunday, newspapers. We have the Mirror newspaper, and we have the Sun. And so it's amazing. All of 3, and all the 3 different judges all sitting deciding if these cases go forward. And of course, none of these papers want that to go forward. So it's just like, it's amazing to, I mean, no wonder they're attacking Harry so much, because they're scared. They don't want these to go to trial, because the one thing they don't want is for people to know what they're doing. They don't want people, they would rather pay out a sum of money than to let people know their dirty deeds, which is what Rupert Murdoch's been doing. We'll get to that in a second. Karen M, our awesome moderator, says, people should stop underestimating Harry and Meghan. They are one of a kind. Exactly. And I would always, I've said this before, I don't understand how Harry could be in that country for 30, how many years he lived there, and people are still having these ridiculous view of who Harry is. I'm like, he's been in your country all this time, and you have no idea who this man is. For you to sit there, I mean, and talk about brave. No one in that country has ever taken on, like Harry has taken on so publicly, all 3 of these big news outlets, plus taking on the royal family and the government. I mean, no one has done that. You can't, they seem to think this man is some kind of a wimp. And it's like, anybody else in that country would cave. Even the royal family caved to the British press. So yeah, it's kind of stupid for people to be thinking that, but for some reason they still think that, and I would never understand why. I'm like, yeah, it's crazy. That is crazy to underestimate somebody like that. Let's see. Oh, Cookies and Cream is here. Hi, Cookies and Cream. I am praying for your family. Whatever is going on there, I've just heard about it, so I'll be praying for you all. And Cookies and Cream Sash talking to Church Nelly. Wonderful seeing you in the chat. Lots of love, health, and healing prayers for you. Also, Arnold Sanders sends you his his well wishes. Aw, there you go. Passed on from Cookies and Cream. So happy that you're here. So what else is happening in the world? Oh, well, this. I mean, if you're a squatty, this should not be surprising at all in any sense of the word. We've talked about this kind of thing so often about King Charles and his relationship with the Queen. We did a whole episode about King Charles, about his lack of respect for the Queen. When one of his courtiers, who was working with the Queen, went to work with him when his household was at King James Palace, and being shocked at the way Charles's courtiers talked about the Queen, and he said, they wouldn't do what they were doing if the King Charles wasn't approving of it. They're basically imitating his behavior towards the Queen. And, we know from Jonathan Dimbleby's book how Charles, he wrote about the Queen. Basically, she was not a good mother to him. Maybe she was to Andrew and Edward and Anne, but for him, she was, he basically, right, she was like a cold fish to him. And there was one story about her when she went on the tour. He was like 2 years old or whatever. Come back after 6 months, instead of hugging her child, she shook his hand. And it's just like, Charles was closer to his grandmother, the Queen's mother, than he was to his mother. And that respect, I don't think she ever earned that respect. So, I mean, in a lot of ways, there's a lot of, whatever it is, but, people like to think that, oh, no, there's deference for the Queen, whatever, he respect. No, Charles has never shown much respect for the Queen. From what I have seen and what I've read about his relationship with the Queen, it isn't there, no matter what they try to do in public. So I wasn't surprised. And I'm assuming squatties weren't surprised when they saw this at all. And when Harry revealed this in court, this is a part of his court case, against the son. And then, Harry submitted his words or his testimony before the judge, basically pleading for this to go to a trial. And so this is a part, and I'm going to move my banner at the bottom there so it doesn't block anything. And so this is The Guardian, who has been doing an incredible job reporting, and they're one of the only, them and Byline Investigates. And I know we've talked about Byline Investigates. Just to clear up with Byline Investigates, I talked about them a while ago when I was talking about this crazy private investigator who I don't trust at all, and their connection with the guy who started Byline Investigates. Now, I'm not saying that what is written in Byline Investigates is wrong. That I'm not saying that at all, because a lot of the things that they've written is correct. I just want you to know who it is that's writing, who it is that was, who owns that, and who is publishing those articles. And that the guy he was a former Mirror reporter, who was basically like Piers Morgan. He was also charged with phone hacking, and he was also he was like those royal reporters now, putting out fake reports and all of that stuff. Apparently he has changed, and he has his come to Jesus moment, and started Byline Investigates, where they're, but he is also involved in kind of rooting out these people who did the blagging and phone hacking and all of that stuff. So that episode wasn't to say don't read Byline Investigates, because a lot of what they're writing is true, because they're literally, they're literally like part of the court cases, and that's where they get a lot of this stuff. And so so they have been reporting on this, but again, I did that so that way who the people are behind these stories. So Byline Investigates and The Guardian mostly have been the one really writing about this. A lot of the press, if it's something really juicy, like say Harry says Prince William got hush money when we talked, Harry revealed about the hush money. Yeah, because that is like kind of a juicy thing because they can attack Harry for, revealing or invading, as they say, William's privacy. They'll go after her. So they'll report about that. But stuff like this, they will try to hide. So a lot of people, they don't report about stuff like this. So, or if they do report about it, it will be buried. It's not going to be front page news. And so this one, coming out from the court is like Charles undermined the late Queen's plan to sue News UK, which is from The Sun. Prince Harry tells court. Harry claims his father intervened because he wanted to ensure the Sun support his and Camilla's future reign. And we've seen that, in 2018, Sally Osmond, Queen Elizabeth's communications secretary, wrote an email to Harry explaining she was willing to threaten legal action in the name of the monarch. The email read, the Queen has given her consent to send a further note by email to Robert Thompson, CEO of News Corporation, and Rebecca Brooks, CEO of News UK. Her Majesty has approved the wording, which essentially says there is increasing frustration at the lack of response and engagement. And while we've tried to settle without involving lawyers, we will need to reconsider our stance unless we receive viable proposal. Just so you know, the Queen had been trying to, just in case you hadn't read the story, the Queen has been trying to sit at a table with the Sun, the people from the Sun, Rebecca Brooks and all the top people from the Sun, to basically get them to apologize and maybe make restitution, whatever, for blagging and phone hacking of Prince William, Prince Harry, Prince Charles. I mean, Diana. So many people that they have done in the royal family, and so the Queen for 2 years have been trying to get Rebecca Brooks and the people at the Sun to come to the table to have, where they would acknowledge what they did, apologize. And for 2 years, they've basically, as one of the articles in Byline said, they've basically, their attitude to the royal family has been like talk to the hand. But that's what the article says, because they were just literally ignoring the Queen. These are the Queen's subjects. For 2 years, the Queen and her people were literally chasing the Sun to get them to apologize so they don't have to take them to court. And so this is where we are at this point, where there's like, no, this is frustrating. They are basically not responding to the Queen and her people. And so now the Queen is like, okay, I'm approving Harry, because Harry's like, no, I want to sue and all of that stuff. And if they wouldn't apologize, I don't want them at my wedding and all of that. I mean, it's just a whole big stuff that was happening there. And the Queen approved the wording. She's like, no, send this to them. We tried to settle with you out of court without involving lawyers. But because for 2 years you have been stalling, we're going to reconsider. And the Queen was like, okay, we're going to threaten a lawsuit and to sue you, because this is what Harry wants to do. And the Queen approved of it. And so it goes on to say the Queen Elizabeth personally threatened Rupert Murdoch's media company with legal proceedings over phone hacking, only for her efforts to be undermined by the then Prince Charles, the High Court asserted, which is what Harry told them. Prince Harry said his father intervened because he wanted to ensure the Sun supported his ascension to the throne and Camilla's role as Queen Consort, and had a specific long-term strategy to keep the media on side for when that time came. And so, I mean, the Queen is like, for 2 years trying to get the Sun to apologize and all of that stuff. And then Charles is like, yeah, I know you're the Queen and everything, but that's not what I want. I want to keep them on side so that when I ascend, to the throne, they will be, writing nice things about me so that they, so that I can get good press. Never mind, they've been destroying your lives. Never mind, they've been dragging you through the mud. Never mind, not only you, but the other people in the UK, innocent people that they've been doing this stuff to. Never mind all that. It's all about me. And we've seen this all play out. we have seen this all play out in real time, you know, with the Prince, well, now King Charles and the son, especially. And it goes on to say the prince, Prince Harry said his father, the king, had personally demanded he stop his legal case against the British newspaper outlets when they filed in late 2019. The court filing state, I was summoned, this is Prince Harry, I was summoned to Buckingham Palace and specifically told to drop legal actions because they have an effect on all the family. He added, this was a direct request, or rather demand, from my father and senior royal aides. Again, Prince Harry, since he was a wee little boy, was hacked so many times and bugged and all of this stuff. And not only that, as we found out later, that the son paid like Dano Banks or whatever his name was, the private investigator, paid him to get Meghan's social security, also get one of their phone bills so that they know how many texts that they sent each other and all of these stuff. The son did all of this stuff. And Harry's like, no, I'm suing you. And, he talked about their role in his mother's death and all of that stuff. And Charles is like, nope, I know they did all of that stuff, but no, it's about me and Camilla. And I want them on my side when we ascend to the throne. So no, you cannot sue. And so all of this stuff, and all of this stuff now is coming out in court. And as you know, if you've read the articles or listened to, I'm sure, the Duchess of Sussex or Baron at Royal Sussex has covered this about, just the Prince William taking hush money while in 2020 while telling Harry that no, it's going to be suicidal, he cannot sue, while taking hush money to keep quiet. And it's just like, so they could sue and William could make a huge ton of money from the son and not care about what the son do other people. They basically buy his silence, but Harry can't sue. And, sue so that other people can, that laws can be changed or whatever, that other people don't have to go through what he has gone through. And so it is just really, really sick. But again, going back to, to King Charles undermining the Queen, again, it's that relationship that goes way back. He has never really respected her. I mean, again, from what I've read, he has not respected her. He goes against, so I mean, even the letter, which my conspiracy theory mindset is like, I don't believe that the Queen ever wrote that letter that said, oh yes, I want Camilla to be Queen Consort. I don't believe that for a second. I don't believe it for a second that that the Queen did that letter. And if she did, it was again, I don't have any proof of this. This is what I believe. And if that happened, it was under duress or a way maybe to bargain to protect Andrew or something. But for me, I don't see the Queen doing this out of her own free will. I don't see it at all. So for that, I wasn't surprised that he would undermine her. He's been undermining her. It's for me, at the end of it, people want to say, oh, the Queen was in charge. No, I don't believe she was in charge at all. And if you read Harry's book, he talked about how the bee, the wasp, and the fly basically felt like they were the monarchs and they are King Charles's people. King Charles is the one who put Edward Young, who, at the end was the Queen's private secretary. They fired her other private secretary, which everyone loved him. Charles and his people fired him and put in Edward Young there. That was his people. That was his person. We all remember when she was supposed to meet, Harry and Meghan were supposed to meet her to talk about, when they were leaving, and going to Canada, and they came back to speak to her, and Edward Young was like, no, you're busy, they can't come, and she had to cancel with Harry. And so basically whatever they said, she had to do. So no, I don't, I believe that Charles was running this whole thing. And so when he said no and undermined it, there's nothing she could do. There's absolutely nothing she could do. And we've seen Charles and the son. I mean, we've done so many episodes and so many squaddies. I mean, this is Charles's relationship with the son. Here he is with Arthur Edwards. And with Camilla, here's the son, baked him his, this was his 70th birthday, baked him this big birthday cake, and there's Camilla up there dancing with Arthur. They did this big surprise for him. They did like set people, some of their readers who were 70 years old, I think at the time, I think it was 70, and they had a party, huge party for them and all of that stuff from the son, and it just it was amazing. I mean, we all remember the cenotaph when they refused Harry's request to put a wreath there, because obviously he was in California to honor the fallen servicemen and women. They rejected Harry, and who they allowed to put a wreath at the cenotaph? Arthur Edwards. Yeah, the son for the photographer. And it's just like this is. I mean, this has been their thing. They've been really minding this relationship with the son, especially Camilla, with the Daily Mail. The Daily Mail right now, they were the ones doing her volunteer things. They were the big newspaper outlet that she teamed up with to do the big volunteer thing for the coronation. I mean, they have been really minding these relationships with the tabloids. I mean, and this is, this happened September. If you look at the date, September 8th, that's the day that the Queen passed away. This article came out from the Sun, and this is Victoria Newton writing in the U.S. Sun. It's the same outlet, just this U.S. version. Victoria Newton, I was with Charles on his last working day as Prince of Wales. He hosted me with typical generosity. And this is what she continued to say. Says, I met with Charles at Dumfries House in Scotland on Wednesday. He was still HRH, the Prince of Wales. Little did he know, or I know, when we spoke the next day, he would be king. 24 hours later, he received the worst news possible. His beloved mother, his beloved, quote unquote, his beloved mother and our adored queen had died. And the nation was plunged into mourning. I saw Charles on what was to become his last working day as a Prince of Wales before he rushed to Ayrshire to her bedside in Balmoral the next day. With typical generosity, Charles hosted me to learn more about the amazing stories of medics nominated in the Who Cared Win Awards. Our meeting was, of course, captured. Our meeting was, of course, captured by our legendary photographer, Arthur Edwards again, who has been photographing the prince for more than 40 years. And it's a couple of things that really stick out for me in this is, and I'm just going to move myself out of there, is how she refers to Charles, or to Prince Charles, at the time, Prince Charles. I was with Charles. Not, the Prince of Wales or, now King Charles. She's writing after the fact. So it's not, I was with King Charles before he became king. No, I was with Charles, and it's like, if you're wondering who Victoria Newton is, you can see at the bottom, Victoria Newton is the editor of The Sun, the same editor who has been the editor of The Sun when Jeremy Clarkson wrote that nasty article about Meghan. Yeah, same editor, Victoria Newton. And it's, again, I have to laugh because it's kind of like, where do you go with this? It's just like the relationship. It's not King Charles. It's, I was with Charles. It's just like, and she talks about their beloved queen. This is the same queen, by the way. I mean, it was different editor. It was Rebecca Brooks at the time, but this is the same queen. They're like, the beloved mother. Yeah, sure. When we looked and we see what Charles's relationship is with his so-called beloved mother. And we've seen how they have treated their adored queen behind closed doors in the same outlet, who literally ignored her. This is her subjects who have ignored her for 2 years. She's been trying to get justice, and they literally ignored her. Where she, the Queen of England, you would think would just pick up the phone and somebody would bow to the Queen, let's just do what you want. Oh no. Queen Betty is the one that was chasing them, and they're like, oh, lady, just talk to the hand. And it's amazing to me the kind of thing that they put out there for people to believe that they respect the Queen, and we see it in the coverage. It's like, oh, we respect the Queen, but everything they write about is about Harry and Meghan. Completely, they do not respect these people at all in any sense of the word. Not at all. And so it is just very interesting to me. And again, we've, when Harry talked about Charles undermining in the Queen and his efforts to sue the son, and because he wanted them on side, we've seen it played out right before our eyes. So none of that is shocking at all. So it is just, it's very yes. Lola says, Charles as well as Camilla are going to reap all that they have sown tenfold. If there is justice in this world, it's amazing to me what they have been doing. And I think it's just Charles and Camilla and William. It's just the selfishness. They take care of them. Charles wanted them on side, so he, never mind all the things that they've done to Harry, the Queen, and all the other people in the world. As long as they get what they want, they're fine. They don't care about what they do to other people. William took the hush money, not caring, instead of fighting them, for the people that he is going to be king and the subjects that he's going to be supposedly ruling, instead of fighting the day for there to be changes and in law and stuff to protect people. No, William took the hush money and shut up, and nobody knows he took the hush money. And it's just like, are you serious? And Harry is the only one they're fighting publicly for, not just himself, but for the people and for the generation coming up to not have to deal with the kind of things that the British press does. And it's just this sheer selfishness. It's unbelievable to me, Beverly Isidore says, what is Prince Anne and Prince Edward are saying? Because King Charles is doing what he wants and putting Camilla ahead of them. If the monarchy fails, because the King Charles and Camilla and Prince William. Well, Anne and Edward are not saying a thing. Yeah, at least not publicly. They are basically they're depending on Charles for money, and that's the power that they have and that he has, that he loves. They have to pretty much do what he says if they want to stay there and get money, because we know how petty Charles is. And if you don't bow down, you're just going to be cut out. So they know what side their bread is buttered. So they're not going to say a thing, at least not publicly. So let's see. Who else is chatting? Ruth Lopez says, I believe the last decision Liz made on her own was to invite Harry and Meghan to the Jubilee and give them her security. After that, the rest of the royal family treated them even worse than before. Suddenly, Camilla is queen. I think as well, she definitely took care of them when they came. They said she invited them and she took care of them. She sent her car to take care of, to shuttle them to and fro, and gave them her security, including when they were sitting in that church. Her security, that guy, always in the kilt, the tall guy, who was her security, she had them sit right in front of him so he can watch over them. And so she really went out of her way to take care of them. Never mind what I think of Queen Betty. She did do her best to take care of them when they came for her Jubilee. So yeah. Could she have done better with other things? Absolutely. She should have. But we can see here, at least she was trying to help Harry with his lawsuit until Charles stepped in the way. So yeah, and you could, and I think that's why Harry is so devoted to her, because he knows she tried. And so yeah. Let's see what else is happening. Hang on a second. Thank you, Ruth, for your comment. Hugh Grant actually was in court. Actually, it's not just Harry bringing Charles. I think him and Hugh Grant have teamed up together with this lawsuit. So it's both of them suing in this set, suing the son. Obviously, the son wants people to believe, like, no, we don't hack, we didn't do any phone. The News of the World did, and they are going out of business. Not the son at all, and Harry and And Hugh are like, we beg to differ. So Hugh Grant, obviously Harry wasn't there. So Hugh Grant is Rebecca Barry, who is a correspondent from ITV. She's, one of the reporters in court. She says Hugh Grant is sitting in the back of the courtroom listening on the final day of the hearing, which was yesterday. He accused the son of burglaries, bugging landlines, tapping, and phone hacking. The Duke of Sussex also accuses newspapers of unlawful information gathering. And so so they both have teamed up here to go after the son. And so I think it was, I want to say, was it the Guardian or Byland Investigates? One of them had mentioned that Harry's lawyer said that Harry's going to be there for the coronation, and he's also going to be there for the beginning of the case against the Mirror, which is on the 9th. I don't know that to be a fact. Whether, in my mind, when I first heard that he was going to the coronation, I was thinking like, oh, okay, because his court case starts on the 9th, which is 3 days later. And so, but then, they had said he doesn't have to testify until June. So I thought, oh, he's going to go right back to California. But according to the lawyer, the lawyer said that Harry's going to be there for the beginning of the court case. So maybe that's just celebrating Archie's birthday the day before, or whenever the last day he's in California before he leaves. Maybe they're celebrating his birthday early. I don't know. However they're doing it. I'm sure they're having fun with it. So if it is true that he's going to be in the UK at the beginning of the Mirror case, which is what I thought was going to happen, when I originally heard he was going, I just thought, oh, the court case is 3 days away. So it would stand to reason that he would be there for the beginning, since he was there at the beginning for the one against the Daily Mail. So it's a lot. So however they decide to do it, I'll just be praying for them, praying that the judges, those 3 judges, are favorable to, of course, the newspaper are like, these are old accusations. The limit has run out. The time has run out for them to, to file this. They should have filed it early. They should have known that they were being hacked and blagged. I mean, imagine having to, if that be your defense, you should have known and filed it earlier. How could you not know you were hacked? And it's just like, are you people crazy? So hopefully the judges are favorable to them, that all of these court cases go through, because the papers are terrified. And of course, this garbage twin, Piers Morgan, he is also, they obviously, we know he was working with the Mirror. He's also worked with the Sun. I mean, this guy has been all up in just cesspool behavior with the British press. I mean, the fact that this is like failing up at an epic level. The fact that this guy was given a $50 million contract by, of course, it's Rupert Murdoch. So I guess top of the cesspool, But the fact that this guy is on television is just, it sickens me. And he pops up on CNN. He was on CNN recently, and he popped up. I mean, Fox News is Rupert Murdoch, so it stands to reason he'll be there. But it's like the fact that this guy has gotten some semblance of credibility by, I know CNN is not what it used to be, but still, and that was recently. And so, but anyway, he's a part of the court case. So all the attacks that's going to come at, and that he's been attacking Harry and Meghan, we know why. Piers Morgan encouraged illegal targeting of Diana, says Prince Harry. Court papers allege that Morgan, when he was at News of the World editor, and others knew about the concealed hacking of text and phone calls, text messages basically, and phone calls. Prince Harry has claimed that Piers Morgan knew and encouraged and concealed illegal targeting of Diana, Princess of Wales, when he was the editor of News of the World. Harry alleges that his mother's private text messages and phone calls were obtained by journalists working for Rupert Murdoch's tabloid newspaper before she died, with the information used as a basis for multiple stories in The Sun and News of the World. Harry alleged in court documents that this illegal targeting of Diana, as well as Prince Charles and Camilla Bowles,
was known about and hidden from by Morgan and other editors in the mid-1990s. Harry also suggested Diana was punished by the newspaper for giving an interview for BBC Panorama in 1995 rather than providing private information to the Sun or News of the World. Basically, they attacked her because they didn't get the scoop and the exclusives. And the article lists a lot of things, quite a few things that were specifically private stuff, that the only way you can get that information, whether it's text or phone, is by hacking or blagging. To get that information, and or pay off somebody in her team to give to sell that information to the papers. And so in the article, Harry goes on to talk about the reason why Princess Diana ended up with no security. One of the reasons is because of this kind of thing, the hacking and stuff like that, where she became paranoid and they started attacking her as paranoid. We know Charles and was involved in allowing his staff to say that she had mental problems and all of that stuff. They were all attacking her that she had mental problems because she was saying, no, somebody is tapping my phone. She got really, really paranoid about it. And it's like, well, of course, she wasn't just paranoid for no reason. They were literally doing this to her. They did literally tap her phone. They did black. They did. I mean, they did, so any way she responded was completely, within reason, because they were literally doing this to her. And so all of that is in there. So when we hear Piers Morgan attacking, he knows this is coming. He knows this is coming. And one thing they don't want is the world to know what they've been doing, and Harry now is that person. And again, for me, Harry, I'm like, dude, you got to go for more than 200,000. You got to go for the millions. I mean, Dominion got 787 million or 85 or 87 million dollars. You got to go for more, because these people only talk money, and you got to go after their pockets. For me, the reason why Tucker Carlson no longer has a job is because he cost Fox close to $1 billion. All of a sudden, your whatever you have for this outlets, when you cost your company close to $1 billion, it's like, yeah, we can afford you. So this is what for me, I gotta do. Go for the money, man. Take that, go after them, because these people speak money. When you go after their money, then they start listening, and then they start changing. Not that Harry needs the money, but I'm sure if he can use a cool $787 million. I would say go for it and speak their language, along with exposing them. So yeah, it's very, very, very sick for me. Let's see what you guys are saying. I'm gonna jump in the chat for a second before we move on. I'm gonna scroll all the way down and then go back up. Let's see. Cookies and Cream, our awesome moderator, says Punk Morgan has been relentlessly attacking Meghan. He is extremely disrespectful to her. Now he can't take a taste of his own medicine. Karma is definitely going to spend a lot of time with him. Yes, I totally agree. Cookies and Cream, totally agree. And again, the last episode I did was just a video drop, was about Piers Morgan and him and Princess Eugenie. Not Princess Eugenie, Princess Beatrice, Princess Eugenie's sister, hugging it out in front of a restaurant. That's right. Princess Beatrice, whose cousin Piers Morgan has been, attacking in more ways than one, and his wife. And there is Princess Eugenie hugging this man, hanging out with him and his wife, Celia Warden, who also attacks Harry and Meghan, especially Meghan. And so it's unbelievable. I'm telling you, you cannot trust anybody in that family. Anyone in that family. Someone had mentioned about how treacherous the Windsors are, man. Day by day, it's just being revealed how treacherous they really are. And and a lot of things, with Eugenie and that is, you got to know a contract has, of course, I don't have evidence of this contract, but when you look at the reporting and the things that the royal reporters and regular reporters report, is everybody has been staying away from Prince Andrew. This is their rehab. It's like slowly rehabbing Prince Andrew's image, and to see where Eugenie, notice they never go after her husband, attack her husband. Notice they never attack Princess Beatrice's husband. It's just like, again, Princess Eugenie, we're putting an asterisk there because we didn't see her do anything, but Princess Beatrice definitely, you know. And so, yeah, it's very, very interesting how they work and their little arrangements, shall we say, with the press. Let's see, who else? Lola Love. Hi, Lola Love says, she's talking to Kim Coates. Yes, I expect them to really hype the coronation along with Fox News. They seem to love the royals. I'm not sure who it is. She's mentioning that should hype the but people, people, the press is definitely desperately trying to get people excited about the coronation. Look, there are a lot of polls that people are not interested in all of that stuff. But on the day of, I think British people are gonna go. British people love. I mean, our squaddies here in the chat who has joined us from the UK can correct me if I'm wrong, but on a whole, British people love a party. They love this kind of celebration. They love this kind of pageantry. And so I expect them to see a lot of British people there. I mean, yes, they're going to pack the route with a lot of their people who are close to them, like school children and volunteer workers and charities and stuff, because they know that's the audience that's their captured audience. Basically, the charities need them. They need their royal support, or at least they think they need their royal support, even though the royals are of no benefit to them at all. They still think they need it. School children, they could basically which they do a lot, brainwash to come wave flags for them. So they're gonna put a lot of that. They put a lot of NHS people in the seats at Buckingham Palace, to basically, I guess, cheer them on. I mean, whatever they're going to be doing there. So they have that. So, and apart from that, I'm sure British people are going to come out. A lot of them are going to come out to celebrate, because again, they love a party. So I don't buy into the, nobody is going to be there, or it's not going to be. I mean, the British they love this kind of thing. So yeah. Let's see. Alma says, just think, if that half in, half out of that sick monarchy, Harry and Meghan couldn't soar on wings of eagles as they are, the world wouldn't know how dreadful this dreadful information. Exactly. I'm telling you, it's just like the fact that they rejected that was from the Lord himself. I'm sure Harry and Meghan are probably like, thank you. Thank you for saying no. Thank you. Now we can do what we want, that we have no obligations to you to do anything. So very interesting. So yes, I totally agree. Let's see. I'm just gonna scroll down. Kim Coates says, she's talking to Jerence Bowman, says, Murdoch is getting slammed on all sides. Harry definitely gonna make him pay 787.5 billion to or that million to billion to Dominion, and I think it's 787.5 million to Dominion. Now, Smartmatic is after him for 2.7 billion. I hope Fox goes bankrupt. I'm telling you, I hope the entire News Corp, not just Fox, all of his titles, including the New York Post, the Wall Street Journal, all of it, the Sun, the Times in London, all of it. I hope all of it goes bankrupt. Not a person that go wishing bad things on people, but Rupert Murdoch needs to be out of business, because literally democracy around in the countries where he is going to die. I mean, we're just holding on by the tip of our fingertips. We are this close to falling because of this man. and the people that he inspired through the lies and the fake news that he spreads. And yeah, it's unbelievable. And everybody's happy like, oh, Tucker Carlson is gone. But Tucker Carlson is just one. Anybody could replace him. He has already had, groomed people to think just the way he thinks. So that's just one person, and it's good that he's gone, but there are so many other Tucker Carlsons out there because of Rupert Murdoch. So that whole News Corp needs to go. Let's see. Antoinette says, yes, Wendy, I believe she lost control when Philip died. Yeah. And probably even before that, because he was elderly, but at least they feared him a little bit. But yeah, Queen was not in control at all. Gwendolyn says, we're driving right now, so I'm just listening. Yep, please, just listen. Don't take your hands off that steering wheel, and safe travels to wherever you are going. John Youngblood, hello, John. John says, I don't know. It's just maybe a low turnout. The biggest supporters are older, which means not as mobile often, and at least supportive are younger. And the least supportive are younger. The trend is not good for the coronation turnout. Okay. Everybody has different opinions about what's going to happen. For me, I don't see it not being a good turnout, just from judging from what I've seen with the UK. Now King Charles could, even though there's protests and stuff, but a lot of people from the different communities that they go to still come out and say hello and are still excited to see them. So yeah, the polls, for me, is just sort of like, it's kind of like reverse psychology, where it's like, oh, no, they're really low, nobody's interested. And then so that they can have the big, when, people turn out, be like, oh, Prince Charles or King Charles has defied the polls and triumphantly, everyone came out. That's just that's how the British press do things. So I would not be surprised to see those kind of headlines after the coronation. Let's see. Well, let's see what else we got. Thank you, John Youngblood, for your comment. Let's see what else we got. Prince William being hypocritical again. We've talked about this before. I'm actually going to move my little brand up there so that way we can read it and bring all that stuff back in the end. But yes, Prince William is being a hypocrite again. We've talked about Prince William and the ivory at the palace before. Prince William back in 2019 was like, called for the eradication of all stuff made with ivory and wanted all the ivory in the palaces destroyed. And I even tweeted like, was it a year or 2 years ago? 2021, I think it was. Did Prince William the palace destroy all those thousands of artifacts at the palace made of ivory? Did they do it? We have not heard, So the Guardian picked this up a couple of days ago. It's like, ivory displayed at Prince William's palace despite his criticism of the trade. Yeah, again, Prince William, I think it was in front of a group of leaders, and he, I think he had the Chinese destroy something like that. Their task, or at least they pledged to do it, and all of that stuff. But here it is. And again, the Guardian has been doing an incredible job investigating the royal family and how much they cost the British people. This was part of it. They've been exposing the hypocrisy of the royal family, whether it's money or art or cars or whatever it is. But here it is, ivory displayed at Prince William's palace despite his criticism of the trade. Artwork exhibited at Kensington Palace. Among nearly 2,000 artifacts in royal collection. For more than a decade, Prince William has spoken out vehemently against the use of ivory, calling it a symbol of destruction, not of luxury. The royal patron of the anti-ivory charity Tusk, that's right, he's the patron of Tusk, has lobbied leaders in China, the US, and across Africa. That's right. He has even said that he wants to destroy all the ivory owned by the royals. In 2019, a spokesman for William clarified that while destroying all the ivory in the royal collection is beyond the prince's control, he had ensured that no ivory from the collection at Kensington Palace. He had ensured that there is no ivory from that collection at Kensington Palace, his place of residence. However, the Guardian has discovered that 9 items containing ivory have been displayed at Kensington Palace since the beginning of the year. Each of them were displayed not far from apartment 1A. Apartment 1A is where Prince William, and that's their official residence, until, well, they have their other home in Windsor. It has been on display not far from apartment 1A, the official London residence of Prince William and his family. Among the things, the many ivory pieces are carved thrones, Fabergé ornaments, armchairs, and elephants. Elephants! To add insult to injury, they have elephants whose tusks they remove to get the ivory. To get the ivory ornaments or whatever they made an elephant out of it. I mean, on display at Kensington Palace, right across from where he lives. And this is the person claiming that, oh, it will never be at Kensington Palace. It will never. No, you need to, destroy it. Of course, they came down from, oh, well, he can't destroy the 2000, it's not in his control. So what does Prince Charles do? King Charles hid them. They are no longer in public view. But this is on display right across from where he lives. And it goes on to say, with respect to the king's personal ownership of ivory, Baker says, if you make a statement saying you don't want ivory and then he has ivory in his own collection, that is the definition of hypocrisy. And Baker is Norman Baker, who wrote the book, and you probably have read the book, And What Do You Do, where, he exposes a lot of the nonsense with the royal family, including their wills that is hidden, and William and his people had declared to him about this ivory thing and about his passion and his crusade to rid the world basically of ivory. And he's saying, look, if you make a statement that you don't want ivory, and now it's in your own collection, display right across from your apartment in Kensington Palace, which you are the head of Kensington Palace, well, yeah, that is the definition of hypocrisy. Among all the other hypocrisies that of Prince William, i.e., earthshot mass, and you flying a jet and you using like your personal Uber, you're patron of this organization for birds while you're out there killing birds. Hypocrisy after hypocrisy after hypocrisy. You are also, vying, it's like out there, so-called supporting the homeless while you have 5 homes and counting, and then you have the Duchy Farms, which has like hundreds, I don't know if it's hundreds by now, but tons of homes and lands. Meanwhile, you're like, oh no, but I am the patron of, a charity for the homeless, and I'm going to rid the world of hope. And it's just like, oh, hypocrite. Prince, that is everything about Prince William is hypocrisy. He just says things. He doesn't mean them, nor does he try to do the things he says he's going to do. Even if you try to, try something and you do it badly, he's just too lazy. He's not even going to try it, And so it's and I'm glad Norman Baker is the one pointing it out. There are some things in Norman Baker's book that is like, okay, you just got that from the tabloids when it comes to Harry and Meghan, but, this is the same one. William talked about this. His mission is to get rid of these things, and it's there on display right at his house. So again, anyways, moving on. What else do I got? Oh, this protest. School kids chanting "Our King" drowns out protesters as Charles visit Liverpool. This is the Mirror reporting this, which was actually a lie. And Republics, they also posted their video. The links to all of this is already in the show notes, so you can always go check look at the links and read those articles. Everything I spoke about today is already in the show notes. So yeah, and so they're like, oh, these school kids over there, they drowned out the protesters from the Republic with their yellow signs, not my king. And so when I saw it's like, and that's a group of kids over there on the left. And I was so happy to see. I now normally never, ever, ever would I agree with something Jeremy Vine said, but one of our wonderful she's not a squattee. She supports the Sussexes though. She posted a clip of the Jeremy Vine show of the same incident with these school kids. These are young kids. And they are supposedly, and they're out there chanting. The video is in the show notes. You can watch it. They're out there chanting, he's our king, he's our king. And even Jeremy Vine, who is a royalist and is always doing things to attack, talking about negative towards the Sussexes, he was like, I smell a rat. This is not cool. He was totally cringed out the fact that they had little kids doing this. And so this guy was on the show, this black guy, I'd never seen him before, but he was on the show. He was like, look, I have 2 kids. I think one is like 5 and one is 7. He's like, they would have no idea or understand the context of what he's our king is about. There is no way that you can have little kids out there chanting without being groomed by their teachers and whomever is in their school to do that, and he was like, he would be really angry if his kids' teachers ever do that with his kids. He was like, you don't do stuff like that. That you're grooming kids to come out there and be like, he's our king, he's our king. Yeah, kids they would have no concept of this, to be out there chanting, unless they're teachers. He's like, for them to have teachers, because, as he says, at that age, teachers are like gods to the kids. They'll do what they say. Other than the other ones, unruly little ones, there are some of them is like, I'm not going to do what you say no matter what you do. But on a whole, they would do. You groom them to be out there with the little flags waving, he's our king, he's our king. That is so wrong. And that is gross to do that to children. And then to have an article claiming our king, school kids chanting our king drowns our protesters as Charles visits. I'm like, who in their right mind would want their children to be out there shouting, he's our king? Who in their right mind would, crazy royalists maybe. But who would be comfortable to have your school grooming your kids doing stuff like that? So I was totally agreement. Even Jeremy Vine, who's like a royalist, was like, this is no, that he was not down with that at all. And I was very surprised to see that clip. It's like, well, at least even people who support them, they were like, that was cringe. That was just like, no, so. And the fact that they are putting that out there is really interesting. And then talk about the Mirror. Russell Myers, who writes to the Mirror, blocked me. And I was like, I didn't even do anything. I was like, well, how rude. All I did was say that he was the most lying royal reporter, which is the truth. I wasn't lying, and I don't even remember if I tagged him. I don't even think I did. So maybe you heard of it somewhere. But I literally did nothing. All I said was he's the most lying royal reporter. And he is. He just lies and lies and lies. And so it's not even like I was lying or anything. There was no lies there. But needless to say, I was checking today to see what they were, saying about Meghan signing with WME. And he blocked me. And I was like, just rude. Absolutely rude. So anyways, you can't even speak the truth anymore. People just block you for no reason. It's just like, oh. So needless to say, I would not be talking about Russell Myers anymore. Unless, sometimes people post, like, the majority of the times I see things, it's because someone posted a screenshot. The same thing with Chris Ship, who blocked me as well. So when people post a screenshot, I'll get to see what they say. But yes, I am blocked. I'm also blocked by Robert Jobson. Same thing. I called him out and he blocked me. And it's just like, y'all, these people, they attack Meghan for all of these years. And the moment you call them out, they block you. They cannot take one post from you calling out their lies. They get all huffy about it and block you. And it's just like, I'm telling you, they're up in their feelings about things, and they don't care that what they do, that other people are up in their feelings as well. It's like, as long as the minute you go after them, it's just like, But anyways, I'm gonna jump in the chat for a bit and see what you guys are saying before we end. Terry says, Pedal, he can't handle the truth. Such a little man. I know. I mean, come on. At least, let me do it a couple more times before you consider blocking me. They can't handle the truth. Yes, exactly, Annie. They can dish it out, but they can't take it. None of them, that the minute you go after them, it's like they claim, like, oh, we're being attacked by trolls. And it's just like, but you are a troll, So yeah. Alma says, follow the shows that they're interested in the Sussex one. Oh, of course they are. They do not like us. That is very true. Pedal, you hit the nail on the head. Yeah, apparently. And I guess I hit it too hard, and so I'm blocked. So let's see. Veronica. Hi, Veronica. Veronica says the rodent in the British media are lying. No kids were cheering. He's our king. I saw the video. Yeah, there is one where they are cheering. They actually showed it in the video as well. The one I posted is the one from the Republic. Actually, you know what? Let me find the one with the kids cheering as well. So that way it'll be there, so you'll see both. There was a video with the Republic group sharing He's Not Our King with the yellow, and there was one. But apparently what happened when the kids were cheering, the Republic group apparently weren't cheering at that time. The video that I have there is from the Republic group, where when Charles and Camilla arrived, they were screaming at them, "Not our king." So in that video, you cannot hear the kids, but there's a separate video of those kids saying He's our king. So yeah, it's very interesting. I don't know why teachers would do. I mean, why would you teach people's kids to? I mean, I'm assuming, I would hope that they got, if they did it, that they got parents' permission, because were it my child, oh man, yeah, that would not have gone down well with me at all. That's the same thing the guy was saying. It's like he would be very angry if his teacher, the teacher of his kids, ever do something like that. You don't use kids, and he literally says you do not use kids as props, and this is exactly what they were doing to these kids. So yeah. Terry says William and Charles are the same. They're fragile egos, only to do what's best for them. No empathy for others whatsoever. Exactly. I mean, they want what they want. When they get theirs is, so long to the others. They don't care about other people. And this is the thing what Harry is fighting. So many of them are like, oh, Harry should never have revealed that William got paid. And it's like, well, no, he had to reveal because, one, the son was claiming that his argument is old and the charges are old. So therefore, the limit is, it's over the limit where he can file those, his lawsuit. And he is saying, no, it is not over the limit, because only 3 years ago you paid out all this money to William. So that goes to show that is a lie. This is not old. 3 years ago in 2020, you paid William all this money. So Harry needed that for his court case to make his claim. And what is so disgusting about that as well, William getting paid all that money in 2020. During 2020, Meghan was suing the Mail on Sunday, and William and his team participated in helping the Mail on Sunday to try to beat Meghan. He was taking money from a tabloid. He was taking hush money while trying to get Meghan to lose her privacy case against the Mail on Sunday, to the point where, again, 2021, whatever, he had Jason Knopf literally give information to the Mail on Sunday to help them to win the case against Meghan, which of course they lost, but and Meghan won. But all the while, secretly took hush money to settle his case. And it's just like, are you serious? I mean, and that's what makes it so egregious. He wants justice, but forget other people's justice. And that's the thing with Harry. Why would you tell your own brother that to not sue while you got all these millions, or how many millions he got from the son? And it's unbelievable to me. it's like, let me get mines, and deuces for other people trying to get theirs. Unbelievable. Terry says ABC is now promoting the upcoming coronation. Of course, I mean, we've talked about this. Don't expect anything else from ABC, especially ABC and NBC. You might see a little bit of it on CBS because ABC and NBC, especially ABC, is Disney. So they have a vested interest in that, the fact that they've been again, happily ever after is Disney thing. I mean, even though I support them in their case against, crazy Ron DeSantis, but Disney has a vested interest in selling royalty because it's that fairy tale happily ever after lying nonsense. So they would want to push that. I mean, we remember why, when the palace threatened ABC, with the Andrew case, they threatened ABC of not making available William and Kate to them. They dropped all that stuff. They drop all the stories about Prince Andrew. We remember that story. So they are always going to promote royalty. The NBC is the same thing, so yeah. And don't be surprised if you get a little bit of it from CBS and Gale as well. So to some people, at least their section, at least the right wing section of America, that's their mothership. So they're catering to them too. So don't be surprised. I mean, I hope we know that by now, so yeah, it's sickening, yes. And again, I am not covering anything, condemnation. So I'll be on talking about other things, including Archie's birthday. So apparently on the 4th, by the way, some people have asked me about this. What were we doing for Archie's birthday? So on the 4th, I think we're going to be doing a fundraiser again, but on the 4th is when we're going to know who we're going to be supporting. So I guess Sussex Community, I think it's Sussex Community who's doing the big fundraiser, who's doing, putting it on. They'll let us know, and then I will post it so we will know if we're able to support. That would be great. Lydia, thank you so much. Yes, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you, are new here. And actually, I put my banner back to remind everyone. Here we go. So yes, go ahead and do that. That would be really, really great. Kim Coates says, "But I'm furious that Harry is only suing for $200,000. If Willie got $1 million, why should Harry ask for less?" I know. When I saw that, I was like, dude, what are you doing? You sure? I mean, for Harry, it's not about the money for him. But the principle is about fighting. But I'm like, dude, you better go and get your $787 million done. Now, this $200,000 is nothing. No wonder they're continuing to do it. You got to hit them in the pocket. We would not have gotten a fire to Tucker Carlson without that $778 million. Who knows who else is going to go when that $2 billion, if what is it? That other organization suing them for like 2.1 billion or whatever it is. Who else is going to go? Because again, you're speaking their language. And I'm like, that 200,000 is not going to cut it. You got to go for more. So yeah, totally agree with you, Kim. Totally agree with you. Let's see. Elaine says, no, she's being crowned Queen Camilla. So whatever it is you said, yes, she is going to be crowned King Camilla. Again, we've talked about King Charles completely undermining the Queen. This is another way. I mean, if that letter is true that the Queen, the Queen said that she wanted Camilla to be Queen Consort. She never said Queen. Again, Charles has disregarded what his mother said and did what he wants. Again, is another example of King Charles completely disrespecting the Queen. The Queen allowed Harry and Meghan to have Frogmore Cottage. What does Charles do? Take it away. Again, disrespecting the Queen and the Queen's wishes. And these people are always like, Harry and Meghan disrespecting. I was like, no. You're not reporting the facts. The facts is, and the evidence is there. In what Charles is doing, completely opposite of what the Queen wants or said, So yeah, again, Lydia says he did comment, but very low key, and makes it seem as if the agency is some new Hollywood agency to boost her brand, according to Russell Meyer. Okay, so Russell Meyer commented. I mean, again, I'm blocked, so I couldn't see Rosamaya's comment. Again, lies, 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 lies. I mean, WME, a new agency. I mean, seriously. Again, lies of Russell Myers. Again, that's why I'm blocked. Um, so, let's see. Perlina says now we have food banks all over. Shameful. Whatever it is you were saying before, and that made that comment, it is shameful. It is very, very shameful. And again, taking £100 million to go do a coronation that nobody asked for, when you have, and even Kate is like visiting all, this baby bank. What was she doing with that little? I mean, did you all see that video with her? Was she trying to fold something that she didn't know how to fold? I mean, I was like looking at it like, what is she doing? What is she doing? It's like she has the little outfit and she seemed like she has no idea what to do. She like, do I fold it? Do I like, how do I mean, it's just unbelievable. Anyways, Harry is not playing. No, he is not. No, he is not. He's got a lot of people scared. So yes, he is not playing. And I think some people are it's now sinking in that, yeah, this is not just about royal stuff. This is a lot bigger. And so I'm telling you, I will pray that Harry, I mean, can you imagine if Harry wins if or when Harry wins all these court cases? Oh my goodness. The landscape of media, hopefully, whoever is in power in the UK at that time, would really take it to heart and really change how press is done, how the reporting is done in the UK, and just have these rules and laws in place where people can really sue if they cross the line and get justice. Because right now the laws and everything is set up in favor of the press, and people have, unless you have thousands and thousands, maybe millions, you can't go against these, because it costs so much for people to bring charges against the press. That's why they've been doing what they're doing. So yeah. Let's see. 1960 TLM says, if my kids were pulled out of school to chant for Charles, I would be livid. Yes, I think a lot of parents think that way and feel that way. I mean, I don't have kids, but if I had kids, and I mean, I would just be livid. I mean, yes, I would not appreciate that at all. So, Love said they're afraid of the Sussex Squad. Yes, they are, because we called them out. Hi, Judy Hyde. How are you? Been catching up with your podcast. Whoa. Well, I'm glad. Thank you, Judy. I appreciate that. And all of our 683 friends who've hung out with us. So thank you all, guys. Let's see a few more before we go. I am looking up. Karen Warner. Hello, Karen. Karen says, any conversation Princess Meghan any conversation Princess Meghan has to be at the table, because she is the one they own an apology, and any conversation is about her family, and she has to be at the table. I'm not sure I understand what you mean. Any conversation Princess Meghan has to be at the table, because she's the one they owe an apology, and any conversation is about her family, and she has to be at the table. I'm not sure I understand all of what you mean, but I'm assuming that, you're talking about the royal family, that any conversation she has with, any conversation they have with Harry, that Meghan should be at the table because they owe her an apology. I'm assuming that's what you meant. I don't know that is exactly what you meant, but I'm assuming that's what you meant. So yes, and I agree. They owe her more than an apology, and they owe her a public apology. And they should be grateful that Meghan hasn't publicly gone after, really gone after them. Meghan has been very kind and very careful in her words. I know she respects Harry, and that's his family. And so she's been very careful in what she said, but I'm telling you, they should be very lucky, because lesser person would not have been this kind and would have exposed them in every way by now. So yeah. Let's see. Um Oh, Karen also says they're trying to put out there that Prince Harry is not going to get Charles and William to talk to him. They fail to understand that Prince Harry is not going there to have any conversations with them. Very true. Very true. I mean, Harry's like, I mean, you have to be really stupid to not realize that those conversations and stuff like that, Harry, they're taking that to court. It's a legal fight. So he's not going there to make up. I mean, the press reporting about him, the olive branches and all that nonsense, that's for them to have something to write about. Harry is going there, his mind is more of a legal, he's bringing that all to court, he's putting it on a legal document so that, down the road, people can't guess what has happened. He's putting it on all there in court. So it's on a legal document. And he's putting it out there for the public, so the public knows. They don't have to rely on the British press to lie about stuff. So yeah, totally true. Totally understand. Kim Coates says, she's talking to Verda, I don't know the UK courts. I don't know if the UK courts are like those here in the US. You can sue for a specific amount, but if the offense is particularly egregious, punitive damages can be awarded. Very true. Very, very true. So yeah, I am just kind of learning about the British court. Yeah, so I don't know that, as well. So, I mean, I am hoping that Harry rethinks that. I mean, I don't know if that's possible because he's already filed for the 200,000, but I'm like, you gotta up that. Definitely gotta up that. Mad World, hello, Mad World says Harry's proving it's not about the money for him, but the principle. Tucker was let go because of what he said about his bosses. Fox would have kept Tucker, otherwise he was their money maker. That too, but then again, I mean, I don't doubt any of the things you say, but again, when you cost your company close to $1 billion, I don't know anybody who is really worth that. I mean, in terms of a company, it's like, yeah, you make money, but when you're bleeding a bit or close to $1 billion, and for just that one lawsuit, and then you have another 2.1 billion coming at you, I'm not sure any company. I mean, maybe maybe they make money at News Corp, but I don't know any company that will keep a person when they've cost them that much money. So yeah. Oh, Robert Collins is here. Hello, Robert, hanging out with us from Rome at 1900. Hello, Robert. How are you? So let's see a couple more before we end. Audio Impossible had the same thought. Dr. Kim goes, for Harry, it's not about the money, it's the principle. He will donate that money. So yeah, it's the principle. You know what? And also too, look, as much as I'm about donating and as much about, I hope Harry and Meghan get to the point where they do not feel like, if they don't donate, and maybe they don't, and maybe just my thinking about it in this way, that maybe they feel pressure to, if they don't donate that kind of money, or donate money from what they receive. I mean, I think for me is I hope they're at a place where they feel like, look, this is my money and I'm going to go out on vacation with it. And they don't feel like or obligated to donate or people would attack them, because the royal family make tons. I mean, we've gone through all the riches that they have and nobody, go after them to go donating. Why should they feel like, oh, I have to donate? Yes, donate if you want to. I mean, we all about donating stuff to the poor, but it's like, no, it's like, I hope he doesn't feel, and I don't know that he feels that, it's just my thinking, but I hope they don't feel like they have to do it or else people would attack them. And even if they did, I hope they get to a place it's like, nope, I made this money, I'm going to buy a new home, or I'm going to get a new car, or I'm going to go on vacation with it because I deserve it and I own it, So that's how I feel about that. And yes, Yes, principle, but get that money. Get that money and let those people, those people love to go after is like looking in their pockets. Like, no, they deserve that money. So yeah. Um, let's see. Yeah, Kim, Kim, I think you're it for the day. Kim says, Verda Sanchez, I hear you, and I get the principle of what Harry's doing, but the language Murdoch and his ilk understand best is cash. I completely 100% agree with that. Go after the cash. Go after it. So, Antoinette Kennedy, hello, Antoinette says, yes, they have control of the children, but CNC doesn't like children. Plus, I don't believe we will see Harry and Meghan's children in the UK anytime soon. I don't think they will be there anytime soon as well. And yeah, Camilla is more into children. Charles is not into kids. I mean, I don't know this idea. It's like, Charles misses his grandchildren and all that. Not Charles, like the Queen, neither of them are into children. So this whole nonsense of trying to make Charles be like, oh, he misses his grandkids, and it's nonsense, absolute nonsense. That's just media, British press lies. Neither. I mean, I remember Charles had to be literally shamed into spending time with George. It's like literally had to be shamed. So it's just like, no, they're not into little kids. So I'm sure he's not missing Archie or Lilibet at all, because again, he's not into them. So John Youngblood said the same. He says, I do not believe Harry wants or need the money based on her latest power move. Based on the latest power move, it looks like Meghan will rake in millions or billions. Prince Harry wants to destroy the British press. I don't think he needs the money, but why not have the money? I mean, look, all the things, it's like, look, he does, it's, for what they did to him. Yeah, he deserves that money. So I hope he feels like it is my right to take that money from them from what they did to him. So, but again, knowing Harry, it's like his thing for him to only ask for 200,000. It definitely looks like it's just principle. But again, he still has to pay lawyer fees. He still has to do all that stuff. If he doesn't get it from the papers that he's suing, he still has to pay that stuff. And lawyers, they rake in millions. So yeah, no, why not go for the money? I say do it. And yes, Meghan will rake in millions and billions. Yeah, I mean, potentially that definitely. So yeah, and she deserves it. They both do. I hope that they become billionaires, because they're gonna do a lot with that money. A lot of people are going to benefit because it's just who they are. They're not, I'm the one who's like, go on vacation, buy a new whatever. But knowing and seeing how they work and what is important to them, a lot of people are going to benefit from that. I mean, look at the Ving people. She donated 1 million people, and how many single moms and people, women going through difficult times, and single dads too, have benefited from $1,000 just here to just help you out a little bit. So all of that coming from $1 million that Meghan donated to things. So yeah, it's a lot of people are going to be blessed because of it, including if he wins these cases, hopefully laws being in place to protect people from the press. So a lot of benefits going to come out of it. So yeah. Let's see. One more before we go. Archie's birthday party, yes, coming up on the 6th. So we are, again, I'm not gonna be covering the coronation, even though Harry is there. I'm not covering it, but I will be focused on Archie's birthday and really helping that to trend on coronation day. I'm petty like that, so there you go. But anyway, yeah, exactly, Rochelle. Rochelle says we can push back by not watching and tweeting out not to watch. Yeah, that's how. I'm sorry, I got a hiccup, but yeah, I am not gonna be tweeting about it. I am not watching it, and I'm be focused on Archie's birthday. So thank you, Rochelle. That is what we can do. So yeah. Anyways, guys, that's it. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. For the last oh my gosh, almost 2 hours. So weird. I was like, oh, it'll be like an hour and something. It's almost 2 hours. Lord. Sorry guys, be talking on of you talking your ear off. So anyways, thank you guys for hanging out with me. I appreciate you so much. Thank you to our awesome moderators. Lydia Church Nelly, get well soon, Church Nelly. Praying for you, Karen M, and also praying for you, Cookies and Cream, for your family, your dad and your family. So praying for healing all around. Thank you guys so much for the work you do, and our 2 Cents crew who support the channel on a monthly basis. Thank you for your support, and our Gold Star supporters who support us in, as you can see in the chat, you see them, whether super thanks, super chat, donation. Also, some of you, if you purchase merchandise, and thank you for all of your support. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. So anyways, guys, thank you so much. Have a fantastic day. I love you all. And until, by the way, again, if you're new here and you have not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. Click the notification bell so you know when we drop a video. Like and share the video. Join if you can. Join our 2 Cents crew. Thank you guys so much. I love you all. I'll see you next time. Bye.